Some of the most expensive work that you can hire an outside accountant to do is cleanup work. It's expensive, it's usually time and materials, and it always takes more time to clean up a 1, 2, or 3-year-old mess than it does just to do it right at the beginning. The first thing you should look at on your P&L, I'm an accountant, the whole thing. What are we talking about here? Remember your P&L, your profit and loss statement, also known as the income statement, tells you how well your business did during a period of time. So whether you're looking at a P&L for the month or a P&L for the quarter or for the year, this is your agency's performance. So we see our revenues, our inflows of resources, minus our expenses, our outflows of resources. And remember, the word resources is a fancy word for cash. That gets us to our net income, or hopefully not, but a net loss. Expenses exceed revenue, net loss. Bad, we don't want that, right? Revenues exceed our expenses, that gets us to our net income, which is of course what we're looking for. So what can we garner from this statement? Well, the basics. Do we need more revenue? Do we have too many expenses? Okay, remember, this is our historical data. This is the information that tells us how we did in this last period or over a period of time. So given that this is information about a period of time, now we need to take this information and look to the future and develop a forecast, a forward-looking statement that tells us how we think the business is going to do over the next 3 to 6 to 9 months to year, or even 3 years. And that gives us some actionable insights. Common mistakes when looking at the P&L. The thing that I try to impress upon new agency owners is the importance of accrual basis financial statements. Cash basis reporting only tells you about your cash. It doesn't really tell you how well your business performed during a particular period. And that's the kind of information that you can get from your accrual basis statements, right? When did we earn the revenue? When did we incur the expense? Put those two things in the exact same period, and now you have your net income for that period. So now you can make more informed decisions about managing your business, more informed decisions about the future of your business, because you understand that, hey, I haven't earned this revenue yet, even though I got paid today. That revenue gets recognized when you've completed the work, which might be in another period. Another mistake that I see agency owners make is misclassifying cost of goods sold versus expenses, right? Cost of goods sold are your pass-through costs. These are, you can kind of think of them as your client's costs, whereas your expenses, these are your agency costs, your rent, your payroll cost. Your cost of goods sold, that's the cost of the media or the cost of the production vendor that you've engaged on behalf of your client. Properly classifying your pass-through costs above the line, right, helps you get to a nice net revenue number. Basically, this represents the fees that our agency has earned. So now when I'm looking at my P&L, I understand, all right, these are my agency fees. This is what we've actually earned and not had to share with another vendor. And here are our expenses of running the business, like my payroll and my rent and my insurance. And so truly understanding your expenses, right, which starts by, of course, making sure your cost of goods sold are classified in the right place. Truly understanding your expenses helps you really get to the bottom of and understand your overhead costs. And once you understand your overhead cost, you can do a really nice job of establishing your fully loaded cost rates and then taking that a step further and starting to look at your client and your project profitability. And that's how you get to the bottom of what revenue you're earning that's profitable and which revenue isn't. Setting up your books correctly early on and making sure that you spend some time on a monthly basis ensuring that things are put into the right buckets can save you heaps of time and, more importantly, money in the long run. Some of the most expensive work that you can hire an outside accountant to do is cleanup work. It's expensive, it's usually time and materials, and it always takes more time to clean up a 1, 2, or 3-year-old mess than it does just to do it right at the beginning. So to the extent you've already got a mess on your hands and you need to start cleaning it up, it's really important to look for a clean break, like the close of a quarter, the close of a month, or even the close of a year if you have to. And that way it gives you a little bit of time to start planning in advance. Okay, here are the things we're going to need to do to really clean this up and to really start handling it correctly going forward. Agency owners need to block time on their calendar to make sure they have time to be involved in their finances. They need to have weekly meetings, monthly meetings, quarterly meetings, and a deep dive annually, at least with their accountants. They also need to be aware that most likely there's probably going to be quarterly taxes due as a small to medium-sized business owner. If you're an LLC or a sub S, you're going to have to make personal quarterly taxes, and oftentimes the funds used for that come directly from your agency, and that needs to be monitored and tracked. The cadence that an agency owner needs to set aside to manage their financial health is, I would say they need to make sure they block time on their calendar to have a weekly meeting, a monthly meeting, a quarterly meeting, and an annual meeting with their accounting team to stay on top of things.